Hello everyone, this is chapter 9 Reproduction in Animals and this is part 1. As you have learned from the previous classes, the process like digestion, circulation and respiration are essential for the survival of every individual. And now in this lesson, we are going to learn about the process of reproduction in animals. You have already learned about the process of reproduction in plants, and in this chapter we will learn more about reproduction in animals, which is very important as it ensures the continuation of similar kinds of individuals generation after generation. There are two modes of reproduction, that is sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. In this chapter we will learn more about these two modes of reproduction. First one is sexual reproduction. Like in plants, animals also have male and female reproductive organs, and this male and female reproductive parts or organs will produce gametes that fuse to form a zygote. It is the zygote which develops into a new individual. That is, the reproductive parts in animals produce gametes which fuse to form a zygote, and this zygote develops into a new individual. This type of reproduction, beginning from the fusion of male and female gametes, is called sexual reproduction. That is, the reproduction which begins from the fusion of male and female gametes is called sexual reproduction. And now we will learn more about male reproductive organs. The male reproductive organs include a pair of testes, testes is plural and testis is singular. Okay, so the male reproductive organs include pair of testes, two sperm ducts and a penis. And in this figure you can see two sperm ducts. These are two sperm ducts and this one is penis and these are testes. The testes produce the male gametes called sperms, and the millions of sperms are produced by the testes. Actually, human sperms are very small in size, and each sperm have got a head, middle piece and a tail. This is the head and middle piece and tail. Each sperm is a single cell with all the usual cell components. Human sperms are very small in size and they are single celled with all the usual cell components, and it has got head, middle piece and a tail. And the tail moves with whip-like movements back and forth to propel the sperm towards the egg. That is the purpose of the that is what the tail does. Next we will learn more about female reproductive organs. The female reproductive organs are a pair of ovaries, oviducts, otherwise we will call it as fallopian tubes, and the uterus. Here in this picture you can see these are oviducts or fallopian tubes. Oviducts, the other name of oviduct is fallopian tube, and this one is ovary and this part is uterus. The ovary produces a female gametes called ova or eggs. Ova is the plural and ovum is the singular. Ova is plural and ovum is singular. And the ovary produces matured egg, and this is released into the oviduct by one of the ovaries every month. Uterus is the part where the development of the baby takes place. That is, in the uterus the development of the baby takes place, and like the sperm, the egg is also a single cell. Now we will learn about what is fertilization. The first step in the process of reproduction is the fusion of a sperm and an ovum. The first step is fusion of a sperm and an ovum. When sperms come in contact with an egg, one of the sperm may fuse with the egg. Such fusion of the egg and the sperm is called fertilization. That is, fusion of the egg and the sperm is called fertilization. During this fertilization, actually what happens is the nuclei of the sperm and the egg, that is, sperm has got a nucleus and the egg has got a nucleus. These nuclei get fused to form a single nucleus. These two nucleus, that is nucleus from the sperm and the nucleus of the egg, will fuse to form a single nucleus that results in the formation of a fertilized egg, or we call it as a zygote. That is, a zygote is the fused nucleus of a sperm and egg, and the zygote is the beginning of a new individual. Now we will explain the process of fertilization in another way. That is, the process of fertilization is the meeting of an egg cell from the mother and a sperm cell from the father. So the new individual inherits some characteristic from mother and some from the father. Now we will learn what is internal fertilization. Actually, fertilization happens internally and externally. That is, internal means if inside the female body, and external means outside the female body. The internal fertilization is the fertilization which takes place inside the female body is called internal fertilization. Internal fertilization, there are so many examples for internal fertilization, that is including humans, cows, dogs, hens, etc. have all have internal fertilization. That is, fertilization which takes place inside the female body is called internal fertilization. Next is external fertilization. This is the type of fertilization in which the fusion of a male and a female gamete takes place outside the body of the female. That is, fertilization happens outside the body of the female. That is called external fertilization, and it is very commonly seen in aquatic animals like fish, starfish, etc. And also you can see that this external fertilization in frogs also. Actually, the frogs during spring or rainy season, frogs and toads move to ponds or slow flowing streams, and when the male and female come together in water, the female lays hundreds of eggs. Unlike hens or frogs, unlike hen's egg, frog's egg is not covered by a shell, and it is comparatively very delicate. And even though these animals lay hundreds of eggs and release millions of sperms, all the eggs do not get fertilized and develop into new individuals, because the eggs and sperms get exposed to water movement, wind and rainfall. Also, there are other, this one is water movement. Also, there are animals in the pond which may feed on eggs. So, if they, even though they have so many eggs or hundreds of eggs, only few gets fused and become new individual. That is, once again, in the spring or rainy season, both frogs and toads move to ponds and slow flowing streams, and when the male and female come together in water, the female lays hundreds of eggs, and also over that the male will lay hundreds of sperms also. But all those eggs do not get fertilized and develop into new individuals because the eggs and the sperms get exposed to water movement, wind and rainfall, and also there are some other animals in the pond which may feed on eggs. Thus, production of large number of eggs and sperms is necessary to ensure fertilization of at least a few of them. Unlike hens, I already told you that unlike hens egg, frog's eggs is not covered by a shell and it is comparatively very delicate. A layer of jelly holds the eggs together and provides protection to the eggs. As you can see from this picture, that is this white part is the jelly-like cover that holds the egg together and it provides protection to the eggs. Now you will know what is test tube babies. In some women, oviducts are blocked. Oviducts means fallopian tube through which the egg comes to the uterus. In some women, these oviducts are blocked and these women are unable to bear babies because sperms cannot reach the egg for fertilization. In such cases, doctors collect freshly released egg and sperms and keep them together for a few hours for IVF. IVF means in vitro fertilization. That means fertilization outside the body. In short, we call it as IVF. In case fertilization occurs by keeping those freshly released egg and sperms for keeping them together for few hours, sometimes the fertilization occurs. At that time, the zygote is allowed to develop for about a week and then it is placed in the mother's uterus. As usual, the zygote develops in the uterus and the baby is born like any other babies. And babies born through this technique are called test tube babies. Again, in some women, oviducts are blocked. Oviducts means fallopian tube. So this when the egg are laid, when the egg comes out of the ovary to the oviducts, this sperm cannot fuse with the egg. So the women are unable to bear babies. In such cases, doctors collect freshly released egg and sperms and keep them together for a few hours for in vitro fertilization. In short, we call it as IVF. That means that fertilization occurs outside the body. In case fertilization occurs, the zygote is allowed to develop for about a week and then it is placed in the mother's uterus. Complete development takes place in the uterus and the baby is born like any other baby, and the babies born through this technique are called test tube babies.